Hi, my name is Toni Sells, and I am going to be playing Charlotte. And in this monologue, she is actually going to be reading an entry to you from her journal. I have had a busy week and haven't had the chance to memorize this monologue, so I'm going to be reading it from my computer screen, but I really wanted you to see it because I was very inspired by it. So here she goes. Well, it started to happen gradually, really. One day I was walking my son Jake to school. I was holding his little hand, and we were about to cross the street when the crossing guard said to him, "Who is that with you, young fella?" "Nobody," he shrugged. "Nobody?" Crossing guard and I laughed. My son was only 5, but as we crossed the street, I thought, oh my goodness. Nobody? I'd walk into a room and no one would notice. I would say something to my family like, "Turn the TV down, please." Nothing would happen. Nobody would get up or even make a move for the remote. I'd stand there for a minute and then I would say a little louder, "Would someone turn down the TV, please?" Nothing. Just the other night, my husband and I were out at a party. We'd been there for 3.5 hours and I was ready to go home. I noticed he was talking to a friend from work, so I walked over, and when there was a break in the conversation, I whispered quietly, "I'm ready to go when you are." He just kept on talking. That's when I started to put all the pieces together. I don't think he can see me. I don't think anyone can see me. I'm invisible. It all began to make sense. The blank stares, the lack of response, the way one of the kids would walk into the room while I'm on the phone and ask to be taken to the store. Inside I'm thinking, can't you see him on the phone? Obviously I'm not. No one can see if I'm on the phone or cooking or sweeping or doing the dishes or even standing on my head in the corner. Because no one can see me at all. I'm invisible. Some days I'm only a pair of hands, nothing more. Can you fix this? Can you tie this? Can you open this? Some days I'm not even a pair of hands. I'm not even a human being. I'm a clock to ask, "What time is it?" I'm a satellite guide to answer, "What channel's the Disney?" I'm a car to order, "Right around 5:30, please." I was certain that these were the hands that once held books, and the eyes that studied history, and the mind that graduated summa cum laude. But now they have disappeared into the peanut butter, never to have been seen again. One night, a group of us were having dinner, celebrating the return of our good friend Janice from England. She just had gotten back from this fabulous trip, and she was going on and on about the hotel she stayed in. I was sitting there looking around at all the others, all put so well together, and it was hard to not feel sorry for myself and to not compare as I looked down at my out-of-style dress. It was the only thing that I could find that was clean. My unwashed hair was pulled up into this greasy ponytail, and I was afraid I could actually smell peanut butter in it. I was feeling pretty pathetic when Janice turned to me with this beautifully wrapped package and said, "I brought this for you." It was a book on the great cathedrals of Europe. I wasn't exactly sure why she'd given it to me until I read her inscription. "To Charlotte, with admiration for the greatness of what you are building when no one sees." In the days ahead, I would devour the book. And I would discover what would become for me. 4 life-changing truths, after which I could pattern my work. No one can say who built the great cathedrals. We have no record of their names. These builders gave their whole lives for a work that they would never see finished. They made great sacrifices and expected no credit. The passion of their building was fueled by their faith that the eyes of God saw everything. A legendary story in the book told of a rich man who came to visit the cathedral while it was being built, and he saw workmen carving a tiny bird on the inside of a beam. He was puzzled and asked the man, "Why are you spending so much time carving that bird into a beam that will be covered by the roof? No one will ever see it." And the workman replied, "Because God sees." I closed the book feeling a missing piece fall into place. It was almost as if I heard God whispering to me, "I see you, Charlotte. I see the sacrifices you make every day, even when no one around you does. No act of kindness you've done, no sequin you've sewn on, no cupcake you've baked is too small for me to notice and smile over. You are building a great cathedral, but you can't see right now what it will become. At times my invisibility feels like an affliction, but it is not a disease that is erasing my life. It is the cure for the disease of my own self-centeredness. It is the antidote to my strong, stubborn pride. I keep the right perspective when I see myself as a great builder, as one of the people who show up at a job that they will never see finished, to work on something that their name will never be on. The writer of the book went so far to say that no cathedrals could ever be built in our lifetime because there are so few people willing to sacrifice to that degree. When I really think about it, I don't want my son to tell the friend he's bringing home from college for Thanksgiving. My mom gets up at 4 in the morning and bakes homemade pies. And then she hand bastes a turkey for 3 hours and presses all the linens for the table. That would mean I built a shrine or a monument to myself. I just want him to want to come home. And then, if there's anything more to say to his friend, say you're gonna love it there. As mothers, we are building great cathedrals. We cannot be seen if we are doing it right. And one day, it is very possible that the world will marvel, not only at what we've built, but at the beauty that has been added to the world by the sacrifices of invisible women. So I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful women. No acts of kindness go unseen. And when you feel like nobody notices, God does.